Yep, we're ready.
You're doing
We quickly just
the bench boost 32 discussion.
yeah.
Yo, thanks for the tweet, by the way. I just retweeted it.
No
No
worries.
stress.
Just kept it very simple, to be honest. Well, nothing too harsh or nothing too crazy.
Yeah. All right.
Let's check the audio is working properly, everyone. We'll check the audio on
Yeah.
YouTube now.
I just went on YouTube. I'm good. Just gotta double check Stark.
Sorry, you said you're good. Oh, what did you say?
Yeah, I could hear myself on YouTube.
Yeah, okay, I can hear myself as well. Just okay, cool. All right, everyone,
Yeah.
please do smash the like button if you're tuning in. Let's go. All right, I'll share the link with my boys too, so that everyone can come tune
Yeah.
in. Let's see.
Yeah.
Give it like another
Posted it in
minute.
the chat. Yeah.
Uh,
Perfect. All right. Kayman, how you feeling, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. How about yourself?
You good? Yeah, amazing, bro. Had a fire day at the gym this morning. My mom's dealing with some like health issues, so we're just like dealing with that and doing a little bit more chores in the house. But overall, it's been a good day, bro. Stark, how you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah, man. Been grafting all day, man. Sorry, Adil just said in the chat, my hotties are back. It threw me
Yo,
off
we
guard,
love
bro.
Adil.
Threw me off guard. He must be talking about Kayman. Can't be talking about me.
Yo, Kayman, what's 9 plus 10?
You already got me once with that. And 19,
All right.
19.
9 plus 10 is 21. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FPL Roundtable podcast. And we are on episode 18. I'm your host, Kanji FPL, and I'm joined by my co hosts, FPL Kayman and FPL Stark. How are we feeling? I know we actually didn't get to pod last week because it was midweek, but did it go okay for you guys?
It did
Yes.
not go well for me, bro. It didn't, bro.
No, actually, no.
It didn't go.
I don't know why I said yes. I don't know
I don't know
why.
why.
Sorry, I was confused.
Stop,
I've
bro. You
been
must have got it.
bamboozled. Been bamboozled so badly, I don't even know what you just asked me.
What do you mean bamboozled? Who is bamboozling you?
Oh.
Anthony Gordon.
Hmm. Yeah, I think Kayman made a really good tweet on the wall card. Do you want to discuss what you said that day?
Yeah, I think I've made it too. You got quite a few attractions. I didn't really expect him much, to be honest. But I think it got a lot of attraction because a lot of people may have shared the similar type of feelings that I've had towards the wildcard in Game Week 30. I think I've made two big mistakes on my wildcard. The first and foremost being picking Clivert while knowing he's actually carrying an injury and making an assumption that the injury is not, what it seems like. For example, the news was that he's got fatigue. So I made an assumption that if someone has a fatigue, they'll get rested for one game and they'll be back the next game, which is a crazy thing to do because I have no experience in any professional sports on how injuries work, how you recover from fatigue. For me to make such assumptions was really bad. I think that was an amateur mistake. So that was number one. Number two, I've also made an assumption, another one with Gordon injury, that I assumed he was fine because that was the word out on the streets and on the X and on other platforms. Also, he walked out fine from the stadium when he did after the match, but it seems that it's much more severe than what it is. and Gordon also didn't play the last 2 games. So now I've been hit with 2 rocket launchers, and it's hard for me to recover. Along with the fact that Gabriel is out for the season, that's third injury, and Trippier also had a
Yeah,
knock. So, yeah, 2 big injured
Trippy is
players.
fine.
Yeah, 2 injured players I picked a wildcard knowing they're doubt, which is a big mistake. Third of all, Gabriel injury, which is a nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
now,
tough.
like, what is the problem? Isn't that like these guys are injured? It's that the alternatives also got points, right? It's like you
Yeah,
look at Murphy, he picked up 14 points. We
yeah,
got we got killed from the top rope by bloody Jacob Murphy, bro. What the hell?
yeah.
Bro,
That bum, bro. Can't believe it.
RKO out of nowhere, man.
Honestly.
Yeah. But you gotta respect him. I think apart from Salah, he's like top, I think, since January in terms of GA this year. So he's been on fire. His connection with Isak is actually incredible. He was just in the right place at the right time last game week. Let's see if he can continue that, especially in the double, right?
I'm just trying to fix my
Let's see, man.
lighting. Okay, can you guys think you can see
I
me?
mean,
Right.
I'm just thinking with because I know you guys went spicy with Gordon. Now the news doesn't really look that promising. Like he could start, he also could be benched. Like we don't know if he's guaranteed even one start, really. So surely you guys are just going to do this downgrade, right, of Gordon down to Murphy. I'm assuming.
I don't. Yeah, yeah. Unless I get some more promising news tomorrow, which doesn't seem likely. I'm most likely going to take a hit this week. Which we're gonna get into
Yeah.
the team selection section anyways. But the initial thoughts is if you have transferred, you take out Gordon. There's no time to play about. There's only 4 or 5 game weeks left for the season. There is not time to mess about. You just take a hit or whatever. You just get rid of him. Personally, there's
Mm.
no
How
there's
do
no
you
point
feel,
of playing
Stark?
the cat and mouse game, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. How do you feeling, Stark, about Gordon?
I will be keeping him.
Really? Okay, explain why.
What do transfers spawn from thin air or something? Why would I? Why would I go Why would I go Gordon to Murphy when Gordon's trained on grass and all he's got is bruises?
Yeah, but we don't even know if he's gonna start, bro. That's the thing. So he
Okay,
could
but
end up
if you
being
take
like
him
a
out,
20-minute cameo.
if you take him out, it's a -4. Essentially, because you've probably got Gabriel, you might have Cliver, or like me, you might have Foden. So if you're taking Gordon out for Murphy, that is the most luxury move on the planet, and it's probably it's a hit. So you're 4 points down to Murphy owners, and if Gordon plays 60 minutes across the double, I think he could get something. I think he'll be pushing for a start in both games, from what I've read. He's trained in grass. It's just about how his body handles the intensity, because when you train for a match, it's 100% intensity. It's not recovery where you know what your body's capable of and you're slowly building up. He's now just trained with the mindset of, is he ready? Can he handle it? So if he is, I think he'll be pushing for a start. He might not get it, but I think he can
Mm,
start one of them. And if not, I think he'll get the Ipswich game. So why would I sell him? It's a waste of a
mm.
transfer, in my opinion. I'm happy to just play it by ear, man.
All right. I don't like that though myself, especially because like I think you're on bench boost as well, right? So it's like he could end up with just 1 point cameos for both games, and then even if you -4, you might be better off with just owning Murphy. Like it could be plus points
No,
or
not me.
not.
No, I don't
No?
agree.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Let's see
Sorry,
what
Kanji.
happens.
Apologies. My headphones were off. Sorry. What was your point?
I was saying like there's a chance that you could take a hit for Gordon to Murphy and it could still pay off.
I think we're talking about this very early. We're gonna talk about this in our team selection, anyways.
Yeah,
But
no
just
problem,
my
no
early
problem. It was
thoughts.
just like these are like the
Yeah.
main things, right? Like I was like
No, but
Gordon was just in my mind,
yeah,
and
we'll touch on that on the next on our team selection section, as well as the bench boost or the triple captaincy, what to use.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
100%. Okay.
I'll share my opinion then. But right now, do you want to touch on this graphic that we have in front of us?
Yeah, yeah. So this is the 31 trip usage graphic looking at the top 10K versus the overall player base. So far you've seen that around 77% of people have used their wild card. So most people have already used their wild card, which isn't a surprise. I mean, people have pulled it last week, the week before, the week before that. But what's interesting is the amount of people that will be activating a chip going into this week. And it does feel like when I was looking at a lot of content, it feels like around 30% of people are going to be having their bench boost active. 30% of people are going to be having their triple captain active, and around 10% of people will be having their assistant manager active. So this is a pretty big week. If you don't have a chip active, you're probably going to be behind your sofa, and you're probably going to get a red arrow, don't you think?
I don't know about this whole chip active, non-chip active, and all that shit. It's just what your chip strategy is. That's what you go along with. We've had double game weeks already. People didn't have chips. I didn't have chips in blank game weeks, and I got a green arrow. So this whole narrative of you have to have a chip active in a particular week to get a green arrow, I don't necessarily subscribe to that idea. If you have a strong team and they return well, and you have a few differentials there, and your captaincy bang, you'll be able to keep up regardless. And if your strategy doesn't suit to use a particular chip in a particular week, you just don't use it. However, this is the week where we'd obviously pencil down to use for most of us either a triple captaincy or a bench boost, but that does not mean that you must use it anyways. So
Hmm. For sure. So I guess it's interesting to see like how many people have already used the chip as well. So if you look at the amount of managers that are in the top 10K that have used three out of the four chips. By the four chips, I mean triple captain, bench boost, free hit, and assistant manager. So around 57% of people have used three or more chips already. So like basically less than half of people have like three chips left. So that's kind of like 40% of the game still has a lot of chips to be used. So it seems like if you don't have at least one or two chips in the next few
Mm,
weeks, you're going to be behind the field. But either way, I just think it's good to put that in perspective, just so you know what you're getting yourself into going into this week.
can I
So
counter your
moving
argument? What you
on,
just said right there. Can I
of
counter that?
course,
Right.
yeah, yeah, of course,
So,
yeah,
for
of course.
example, a lot of people have a bench boost, right? Do you think bench boost is a chip that's an advantage towards a manager right now at this stage
I
for a
mean, bro,
manager?
it's just like 10 to 15 points.
No, no, no,
Yeah,
no,
like
no,
get
no.
some points.
I honestly think it's a liability for managers. I genuinely think it's hampering managers' ability to attack the fixtures, be able to prioritize good assets, and not stuck on like say mediocre assets or injured players and whatnot. To be able to prioritize this chip, I think not all chips are good chip, and bench boost is one of those chips, bro. And for example, myself, like I'm stuck this week. If I don't bench boost, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to bench boost, and I have two players injured, and other people have Villa assets who are not likely to start, which we're gonna get into the next session anyways. And then you have also
Yeah,
Arsenal boys that can get rotated. So it feels like to me it's becoming a liability, a burden on someone rather than an advantage, should I say? So
yeah,
not all chips are good chips. For example, if you already use your bench boost in game week whatever, I don't know, game week one, two, whatever, right? And you've got done and out of the way with it. Now you can just focus on your team instead of taking hits to bench boost or compromising on particular assets who look good right now. You can attack, but you don't do it because it doesn't suit your strategy. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
we can't
yeah.
just
I'm with
look
you,
at it.
bro.
We can't just look at it just in isolation and say you must have chip to get a green arrow. Or you must have used it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like so,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man.
That's a good point. I just look at it like if you have like triple captain active or bench boost active, you're gaining 10 to 15 points versus someone that doesn't.
But again, I'm gonna come back to you again with the same argument. Like I know we're going in circles now. But for example, like Stuck, I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say here. Like, for example, right now in my situation, I need to bench boost, but I can't attack this double 33 because my strategy doesn't suit. And I'm not trying to prioritize bench boost because my long term strategy is to be able to navigate the doubles as well as blanks well, where I don't compromise on any weeks. I'll try to optimize many weeks as possible. So yeah, man, I'm gonna activate the bench boost. I don't know if I'm gonna get green arrow this week. I genuinely don't know.
I guess like that's going to be really key. So why don't we move on to the next slide and we can see these are kind of the dilemmas people are going to be looking at this week. Like if you had the choice between bench boost this week versus triple captaincy, like what would you be prioritizing? Because I think when I'm looking at the triple captain options, for example, this week you have Isak versus Mateta. I'm assuming all three of us would just be on Isak, right?
I
yeah, I
mean,
would be personally.
yeah, I mean, look, yeah, I think I've seen some training for his training. I think I'll be on Isak. I thought there was some doubts around his injury, may not be fit and whatnot, but it seems like he's fit and he's training. So I'm on Isak because of that. Yeah, simply, yeah, he's fit. So yeah,
Yeah, for sure. I think some spicy people, given that, Nketiah is now injured and Mateta's nailed for 90 minutes, he might even get more minutes than Isak throughout the double, but the fixtures aren't that great. And yeah, so I guess Isak is the right play, especially two games at home. But if you consider triple captaincy in game week 33, maybe, you could be on Saka for a potential double game week of Ipswich and Palace, or Marmoush with Aston Villa and Everton. So Like, if you had to prioritize like triple captaincy in 32 or 33, like what would you guys prioritize?
Like, you wanna go?
Wait, say that again? But
So if you
bench
had
boost
to
in 32
prioritize
or
like
triple captain in 32?
no. If you're gonna triple captain, would you prefer to triple captain Isak in 32 or Saka or Marmoush next week? Tough
Oh,
one, I know.
oh my gosh, man. Come on, man. That's a difficult question. Like at this point in the game, like at this point, everyone has a chip strategy where everything aligns. So it's like a knock-on effect, and even every transfer aligns. So, but if I'm really trying to answer your question and not sit on the fence, I think I would want to. I'd probably prefer Isak because he's at home twice. I think they're going for top four, and I can just see it being a dominant performance at St James's Park.
Yeah. What do you think, Kayman?
I think it depends on the chip strategy. I think if you were planning to I think if you actually free hit in 34, I think it's pretty obvious that you bench boost in 33. Unless you obviously had other plans, which I wouldn't understand why you wouldn't, because you would like to load up on the villas and the cities and the arsenals and the palace, of course, and get as many doublers as possible for the bench boost, which is a basic thing to do. And then if
Mhm.
you're not on that strategy, and if you're on the strategy that which we are on currently, or I guess you're on free hit 33, for example, our good friend Benji, who's currently planning to bench boost in 32 and free hit 33, I think you get the bench boost out of the way first, and there will be opportunities to use the TC come game week 36 or in 33. There are good options available, or even Salah. We can go versus Leicester, which is you can never go wrong with that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Salah matches the TC. I wouldn't be surprised if actually Salah matches Isak what he does this week, next week. I wouldn't be honestly. So I don't think it's the end of the world that
Yeah.
you have to use this chip. I feel like if you plan to use bench boost in this particular week, then go for it, even if it means you take a hit. Because as I said, it's a liability chip. I genuinely think it's hampering my ability to attack the fixtures and move on forward. I feel like I'm praying for players to get injured and things like that, and I can't really navigate
Mm,
without worrying about a particular player being injured. So
yeah.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
I would say
So
get the bench boost out of the way if you can, and you can worry about TC
yeah, so
later.
you're basically saying there's not much to really split the triple captains, that it's more important just to prioritize getting the bench boost out and getting some points without taking hits is what
Yeah,
you guys are articulating the same message, and I agree with that. So I think the key is like when you're looking at your squad, right? You're not just looking at 11 players, you're looking at 15 players because a lot of people are looking to bench boost, right? So if you have Arsenal assets or you have Aston Villa assets, like we've listed a lot of the ones that we have question marks over, the likes of Bukayo Saka, Saliba, White, Timber, or if you have any of the Aston Villa assets, the likes of Watkins, Rogers, Konza, Martinez. Um, do we think these guys are going to be good picks for bench boost 32? Or do you think if you own them, you should just push your bench boost into 33?
Mm, Matoma's a doubt. Rogers, I don't think will play. I think Villa in general avoid because of the second leg against PSG, and we've kind of seen which players he's rotated for the game specifically. I think Livramento is going to be fine. Personally, I think Gordon will get minutes in the double. Whether he starts, that's another question. So that's obviously individual with regards to how you play Gordon. Foden, any City assets is quite simple. We should get early team leaks. If you own Foden and you're going to see bench boost 32 through, if you've got a free transfer and you're going to go bench boost, I think you could potentially drop Foden to someone. If you like, just take your pick really. Cliver, it's not looking good, bruv. I'll be honest. Arsenal, it's not looking good. Like that's why I don't like. This is why I'm on free at 36 because Arsenal and Villa, they're not really players I want to target for the double game week in 33 because of the Champions League ties. So I think people who are free hitting in 33 are also going to do very well because they don't have to get fucked over by rotation. They can just target the double. So
Mhm.
hopefully we get an equivalent double in 36, and the likes of me and Kayman will feast in that double game week as well.
you know
Yeah,
some background
definitely.
noise stuck on the thing on your mic. I don't know if you can sort it out, but yeah. I want to
Either way.
clarify something by the way. If you are free
Mhm.
hitting in 34 for the viewers, I do think bench boost 33 makes sense because the number one reason. Arsenal would be done with the second leg versus Madrid. So will Villa, right? So you'll have some idea of what players will be available for the double, right? For both of these teams, what mass rotated right now. Same with Clivert injury, you will know roughly what's going to happen to him. You will know with Gordon what's going to happen to him. So you'll get much more clarity in 33, I feel like, compared to 32. There's a lot of unknown right now, as you guys can see based on this list. All these players are either doubt or expected minutes risk based on the press conference. So if you're missing this many key assets, is it really optimizing the bench boost this week? Right? It's very team dependent, I know, but still, these
Right.
players are highly owned. Like for example, Saka, I mean Saliba, White, Timber. The Arsenal defense are highly owned. You got Clivert, Gordon. I mean, Gordon not really highly owned, but there's some who went
I'm
there.
sorry, owning Saka's a skill issue, man. It is. I'm sorry, it just is, man. Owning Saka is a skill issue. If your goal was to bench boost in 32, I'm sorry, but that's a skill issue.
It's a skill
well,
issue,
fair
but
play.
yet he's outscoring Palmer in the last 2 weeks, so they're still laughing at us.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's outscoring Palmer.
But it does matter
It
though,
doesn't
because
matter.
because we
It does not matter.
it does
not
matter.
matter. Palmer's going to start and Saka's not.
Okay, but fair enough. But that doesn't mean that Saka can't come on and do what he done, right? He can still come on.
You're missing
and do
my
something.
point. You're missing my point. If you're going to bench boost, you want someone who's going to start the game.
But Palmer did get benched as well, though, versus Brentford.
That's not bench boost week, though, is it?
No, that's true. That's true.
I mean, that's like why it's coming from someone that's going to be playing Gordon, who probably won't start. But anyways, yeah, it does seem like you want to make sure you can get as many minutes as you can, especially in a double, right?
Yeah, that was cheeky.
So that's why I think
that was cheeky.
no, I'm just like turning what he said against him, by the way.
That
So
was
yeah,
cheeky.
basically, game week 33 for bench boost makes a lot of sense. Like, because it's just there's too many doubts on key assets. Like, I really don't like game week 32 bench boost unless you've gone heavier into the likes of Brighton, right? Like, if you have like a Jean
Bro.
Pedro or Stupinian or Verbruggen, that's where 32 bench boost is looking pretty good, right?
Yeah, and you hit the nail in the coffin. I think if you got Brighton assets and they're available, I do think it's a good bench boost because Leicester are scoring goal, like considering goals for fun. I am personally eyeing myself for a Brighton asset because the weeks that I do need them, for example, in 34 and 32 and 33, they have great fixtures. For example, they got Leicester in 32, and in 33 they play Brentford, as well as in 34 I think they play West Ham. These are really 3 good fixtures, and if I can get the right asset from that team, I could get some points, right? Even if it means I have to take a hit. So let's see what happens. I'm personally eyeing myself. For example, I'm looking at Minte just to give you guys a heads up on what my transfer might be. I'm looking at Minte for Clivert. For those who are watching, listening and watching, yeah, I mean, I know we've been on the space for a while. I've been going back and forth on who to decide, but I'm somewhat set. I'm almost like 90% set on Minte because I think if you guys know FPL Incentive, he'd made a tweet about his predicted lineups, and he's normally quite accurate with those. He's got Minte starting, and I hope that he does start. And solely much, I don't think he's built up enough fitness to be able to start the games right now, anyways. So yeah, I like myself some Minte. Let's see what he can cook up, and then I'm also looking at Gordon to Murphy for a -4. To be fair, because I can't go into a week where knowing that a player is a doubt and missed 2 games already, and he's touch and go, and I've been hearing touch and go for a while now, and that touch and go has hurt me enough. And we're in a season where there's only 5 game weeks left, and I have to be aggressive, and I can't sit back and just watch people get points while I just sit there and get nothing, and the season is coming to an end, and I'm not really giving myself a chance to be able to compete if I wanted to, I guess, go for to win the game, and which is the ultimate goal. And I can't play passive in one position. I have to be aggressive.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I'm just like putting the. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Do you think Gordon and Saka's the equivalent of owning on a wild card if you wild card in game week 30?
Wait, can you repeat that?
I think owning Gordon is worse.
Do you think owning Gordon is the equivalent? Put yourself back in this to the time when you wildcard in 30, right? Do you think owning Gordon is in the same category as picking Saka?
Yeah, basically.
I think picking Gordon is actually worse stock, to be frank, because
okay, so Kayman, why did you pick Gordon?
Because I didn't think he was injured, bro. Because the news was that he wasn't injured.
What do we know about Saka?
Saka, we knew in game week 30 that he was available to start. That's what Arteta said in the press conference. Literally, that was his words. So we
He's
had
just
much
come
more.
back from he's just come back from a catastrophic injury, and they've
Yeah,
got Real Madrid twice. And if you're
yeah.
planning to bench boost in 32, which fixtures in between the Real Madrid twice?
I think they're both bad, but I would say Gordon is worse because Gordon has yet to play a minute, whereas Saka has been playing. Do you know what I mean?
Who
It's a good
cares? Who cares? They're both bad. They're basically both bad picks. But Saka will be
But
good
one guy
long
has got
term,
9 points and the other
but
guy has got
maybe
nothing,
not.
bro. So I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah,
That
they're
outcome
both
bias
bad.
is
Saka was
crazy,
yeah,
just
bro.
lucky,
I know
but
it's outcome bias. I know, but I'm just saying we knew
Right,
going
well,
into
get
game
that
week.
out of here, man.
I
Allow
know
that,
it's
bro.
hindsight. I know it's hindsight, but at least we know that Saka. We had more positive news on Saka than freaking Gordon. We just made an assumption that he's fine, which was a terrible thing to do. Like, what are we going based off? Absolutely nothing.
yeah. Yeah, I think like at this point, you're looking at assets, especially if you have bench boost this week or next week. Like Clivert, Gordon, Gabriel, these guys have to be dealt with. Those are main key FPL picks, right? And I noticed in the chat, by the way, I saw Ivor and IBK. Shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. And if you haven't dropped like a like, please do that. And do you know we usually have our PFC, which is our punt, flop, and captaincy. So if you guys could drop your PFC in the comment section down below, we'll review everyone's PFC sections going into next week to see who got the most points. So just drop that in the chat and we'll calculate it for you guys. That'd be really helpful. And I noticed in the chat they're asking, why is Livermento a minutes risk? Well, apparently he came off, sorry, there was a doubt around him in the press conference. Apparently he picked up a knock. So yeah,
So
just something to keep in mind. I think he's fine though.
after the game, the manager said that he picked up a knock. Now, there was not anything mentioned on the press conference regarding Livermento, and also on the training pictures, I didn't really see his picture either. So I'm not saying he's not going to start. This is just to let you know how many players are ifs and buts, and maybe to start or be X minutes risk. And the reason why he's on this list is because of what Eddie Howe said after the game versus Leicester. That's why he's there, and we haven't got any update from on him since then. But again, the
Yeah.
assumptions being made in the community is that he's fine. In terms of, is there any training pictures? No. As was his name mentioned in the press conference? No. The last thing we've heard on Livermento that he had a knock. That's it. That's why his name there.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Gotcha. So let's move on to the next slide. I think is really interesting. As we mentioned earlier, there are some teams that just have a lot of rotation, and I think Arsenal and Aston Villa are the key examples. As you can see, they play in 31 against Everton, then they play Real Madrid. Then, for example, for Arsenal, they play Brentford and then they play Real Madrid. There's no breaks, and then they have a double game week. They're basically playing during the weekend and the midweek for like the next few weeks, and that stinks of rotation. I think people that have Saka, they shouldn't be optimistic on minutes. I think if you're thinking about the Premier League, right? Liverpool are around like 12 points clear. Like, what incentive does Arteta really have to start Saka, right? Like, am I the only one that's doubting this? Like, do you guys think he's going to start versus Brentford? Like, what do you think?
No, of course not. He's not getting. He's not sniffing it.
What do you think, Kayman?
You know, the Champions League.
Yeah, like, do you think Saka's starting Brentford, Ipswich? Like, what are we thinking about Saka's minutes? Like, I think it's really important to assess that.
My question is, when is the semi-final after they beat Madrid? If they do go through, which they're highly likely to go through now, when is the
Yeah,
semi-final?
you can see on the slide, right? Before and after the Bournemouth game. It's between 34 and 36.
So semi-final is bro. They don't play semi-final till there's more than enough time for him to play both games, bro, and recover. So he should be fine for double 33 now.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing. So like if you can see on the slide, like let me show the graphics there. You see like the little gray part between before and after the Brentford game. That's where he plays Madrid, right? Before and after game
Because
week
it
36.
says Euro, like it says Europe, right? So Madrid is on the 15th,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Madrid on the 15th, and then
Yeah.
he's got 4 days to get ready for Ipswich, and then another 4 days, 3 days to get ready for Palace.
You're most looking at 90 minutes for Saka in that double, probably. I'd say.
Yeah, same. I agree with that. I think it's
But
going to be like 30 minutes off the bench for Ipswich and probably 70 or 80 minutes against
Yeah,
Palace.
that's what
Maybe he
I would
gets
suggest.
90, maybe 90. So I think you're looking at like 90 to 120 minutes for Saka on the double game week. And I think Brentford, whether he starts or not, I think he's going to be benched
He's not
personally, but he
starting.
could start.
He's
Yeah.
not starting. He's not starting Brentford. I'm sorry, he's not starting Brentford. I'm willing to. I'm not going to sit on the fence. He's not going to start, is he? Like, let's use our brains. Why would
no,
he
he's a
start
major
Brentford?
doubt. I think he's a major doubt for Brentford. But the Ipswich game, I think, is also a major doubt. Depending on how hard that game is, which we're assuming is going to be a very difficult game. And then
Yeah.
I agree with you guys, probably a start for Palace because that's a much tougher game. So yeah, you're looking at maybe around 110, 20 something minutes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Same with
exactly.
Watkins.
So
It's like all these assets. What I would say, free hit 33 will win this period. It's a great strategy. They don't have to be fucked over by rotation. They'll have 11 in 34. They'll have a good bench boost in 32 because the two teams coincide because they both play and they actually have good fixtures. For example, Chelsea, Leicester, Liverpool, those kind of teams. Even Newcastle, they have a great fixture in 34. And they don't have to
mhm.
be fucked over by Villa and Arsenal in 33. It's a great strategy. I mean, 32 and 34 and 31. A great strategy. I think they'll do amazingly well. Kudos to those on it. Me and Kayman hoping that we can get it back in 36.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah,
If the double does
yeah,
happen. If it doesn't happen, then we fucked it, basically.
yeah.
But if
I
Tottenham
want
lose
to.
their second leg, bro, like I think I'll just free hit 33 to be honest.
Yeah, if it might be chalked. Yeah, it probably is chalked if that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there's two other things I do want to mention. Like, yes, Spurs are going to have rotation, but I don't think we have much FPL investment in Spurs. Chelsea do have the games against Legia Warsaw. I think they won the first leg 2-0 or 3-0 start. Is that correct?
3-0.
3-0,
3-0.
nice. And then Palmer had a halftime sub. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, him and Tosin were planned halftime subs, so all good, no injury. He'll play Ipswich.
Okay, perfect. So that's exactly what we want to hear. He's not getting too many minutes in Europe. We'll probably rest the second leg. So looking good for Palmer. But just keep in mind, he still is in Europe. And I'm sure Chelsea will probably want to win a trophy. But what do you get for winning the Conference League? Do you get any sort of trophy for that? Or do you go to the
Yeah,
Champions League, or how does that work?
you get a trophy and you qualify for Europa League.
Oh,
Chel-
okay. So you're still going to
Chelsea's my
prioritize.
Chelsea's main priority is top five Champions League. I think it's been confirmed, top five's Champions League this season. So we'll be
Yeah,
aiming for top
huge.
five. It's a big battle between Forest, Newcastle, City, and Villa, and ourselves. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Definitely, definitely. I want to emphasize the rotation for three other teams, like we've talked about. But Aston Villa, I don't know if Rodgers is going to start. I don't know if Konza is going to start. So you have those assets. Like I'd suggest not bench boosting and looking to bench boost in 33. I mean, look at the schedule, right? They've got Nottingham Forest, which some assets played. They played PSG, where they just lost. I don't think they're going to beat PSG in the second leg anyway, even though it's at home. And then they have Southampton in between. So surely you play a backup team in Southampton. But keep in mind, Aston Villa are in seventh. They're still trying to also get into the top five. But I think they'll give their best for the PSG game, and that's where I think in 33 you'll be better off owning some other assets. So 32 probably will have some rotation in Southampton. Even there's a guy on Twitter, his name's FPL Villain. He's suggesting that a lot of the main picks are probably not going to start. He doesn't have Roger starting. He has 50% chance of Konza starting. Those are the two main guys you'd want to consider. Watkins, there's something really weird about him where I thought he would start the Champions League game, but for some reason he wasn't starting in the Champions League anyway. Yeah, I don't know what is going on there. I would have loved to own Watkins in a double game week in 33, but I think he might just be in a void now. Like, what do you guys think about Watkins versus like Rogers versus Rashford versus Asensio versus Mullen? Like, what do you guys think about Aston Villa?
Their schedule is horrid because they've got the fixture now. They've got PSG, then they've got double game week. But the reason why I'm so put off their assets in terms of like tripling up. I think their defense is shocking. And then secondly, Rodgers is the main man. He's going to play Champions League. And if you look after they play, is it Man City? They have Crystal Palace in the semi-final of the FA Cup, like a few days later. So
Mhm.
I think if they get pumped by PSG again, which I think is highly likely, I think we could see more rotation in the second game in the double game week. Have the main team play Palace in the semi-final because I think Unai Emery is going to want a trophy. I think the fans are going to want a trophy, and I think he's definitely going to go for it. And they've got such a good squad. Like it's so hard to predict who's going to play. And with this Watkins nursing an injury and he's trying to recover full fitness, does Watkins play Southampton? Like it's just a complete guessing game. I'm not really intrigued by it. I don't want to be involved.
Yeah. So, Kayman, do you have any thoughts on like maybe taking a punt on somebody like Asensio or Rashford or Rogers for,
No,
maybe in
no, not
32 or
interested.
33
Not
or
interested. Not interested. Not at all. I'm not on free hit 34, so I'm not interested in getting assets that are blanking in 34. Personally, especially when they're rotation risk. If I wanted a rotation players, I would have gone for Liverpool assets, where they have West Ham, Leicester, and Spurs to be arguably the best three fixtures for the next 3 weeks. But I don't want.
yeah,
I
they
want to
do.
get the minutes. I want to get the minutes, and I want to be able to navigate blank 34 comfortably. And if that means I have to sacrifice in the short term, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
what you're saying. I do want to emphasize one more team. Something to keep in mind is actually going to be Crystal Palace. Now, look at the congestion in that fixture schedule. You've got Man City and Newcastle, the double game week, two away games. Then they play Bournemouth at home, and then Arsenal away, followed by their semifinal in the FA Cup. And similar to what Stark said, maybe the coach will want to prioritize having a good team in that Aston Villa game. So maybe there might be some rotation in the Crystal Palace versus Arsenal game. Just looking at the rest periods between matches. I mean, they're basically playing weekend, midweek for 5 games in a row. Like, that's pretty tough. At least they had some time off before the Man City game so they can go strong that game. But now they have Gahey missing that game through suspension, and Nketiah won't be able to help Mateta take some minutes away from him. So it's looking really tricky for the Crystal Palace players. I wonder if they'll be pretty leggy in some of these games. Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely. They'll be leggy 100%. And Nketiah's suspended as well. Arteta's was building his fitness up just recently, getting 60 against Southampton. So is he really fit enough to play 90 in all four of these games? You've got Guehi suspended. He'll get a nice rest. So he'll play the rest. I think Lacroix was concussed. Is he fit to start? Richards is like fighting fitness. Like people were waiting on the press conference to see if Richards would start. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. Palace. I wouldn't be going with him on AM chip. I say that for sure.
Well, that's interesting. Kayman, what would you be thinking? Because, there's two double game week teams. If you're going to be looking to use your assistant manager, you've got Glasner with two table bonus games away from home. And then you've got, Eddie Howe for two games at home, one to Man United and one to Crystal Palace. Like, who would you prefer to go for this week?
Glasner.
Glasner. Okay, so why?
Because if he gets one result out of the two, a draw or a win, if he gets a win, that's basically equivalent to what you could get with a favorite, with 2 games yes to win. I just like the underdog. I think this chip is designed to use for underdogs, not favorites. I like it, and you don't have to use a
Yeah.
transfer on him.
Okay.
You just keep him for 32, 33.
Yeah,
Assuming that you've
definitely. I can
activated,
see that. I want to.
assuming that you activated the chip in 32, so 31.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, because if you're
Glasner
using
is a
AM, it's
no-brainer.
31 to 30. Yeah,
In
so if you're
my
going AM, it's 31 to 33 is the period to have used it. So yeah, whoever you went for, whether you went for Eddie Howe or you went for Thomas Frank or you went for Graham Potter, you're probably on one of those three. Maybe some bold people would have been on the Man United manager, but yeah, most people are going to be looking to move to one of Howe or Glasner. So you're suggesting Glasner. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's really smart. You get the table bonus. Ideally, I would be in that position too, but unfortunately, I went for Henderson a few weeks ago, so I don't have that Crystal Palace spot because I look at Munoz and Mateta as essential picks. So I'm stuck with Eddie Howe, and I'm not really complaining. I mean, he's got 2 games at home. Newcastle are now fourth or fifth in the league. They're fighting for top four. It seems like all green lights when you look at Palace. Sorry, it looks like all green lights when you look at Newcastle. I mean, they have a lot of good things going for them, except for the Gordon injury, right?
You
So
see that top four. You see that point you made with regards to top four. I think we're in an interesting position, contextually speaking, with regards to the Premier League table. And I think Liverpool have got the league wrapped up. They could be on the beach. I think the three teams at the bottom of the table have all relegated, confirmed mathematically. It's impossible because Leicester are trash. The rest of the teams, they're kind of just playing for pride, maybe more prize money, finishing one place above. But then you've got teams like Bournemouth, Newcastle, Chelsea, City, Forest, all battling for top four. And you've got Arsenal who are comfortably in second, who are looking likely to be in the semi-final of the Champions League. I think the key information to process here is we kind of need to target players from Forest, Newcastle, Chelsea, City, and who else did I say? Villa, if they go out the Champions League. I think picking assets from those five teams is going to be key because they're going to be on it. They're going to be fighting still. They're going to be playing with the same intensity. What do you guys think about that?
I
yeah,
like
what do
that.
you think, Kayman?
I like that. Obviously, I pretty much have players from all those teams, but at the same time, I feel like you got to take into the consideration the fact that some of the top teams are playing each other. So, for example, like what's it called? Forest, they do have a top fixtures, I think. Obviously, later on towards the season, it does get better, but in the medium term, Everton, it's not the greatest entry point. And who do you even go for? Elanga, he was a good option, nice enabler, but he's injured. Morgan Gibbs White, they don't
Mm,
score too many goals. And if Wood is back, Wood is the number one attacker that you want to get because pretty much all the GAs he's been hogging it, right?
mhm.
I don't
It's
I like the
timing.
Forest defense rather than the attack personally. Um, so it makes sense to go for a Forest defense. And City attack, who do you even go for other than Marmoush? Like, there's so much rotation. With Villa, who do you go for? There's so much rotation. Yes, it's nice to
Well, I
target
do
those.
think I do think your double up's quite nice. You got Gvardiol, who's good on bonus. Shout out Meerkat on Twitter. I mean on X.
Yeah.
He made a good point as to why he gets bonus. They've got O'Reilly and Nunes who are midfielders. So Gvardiol kind of hogs the bonus in that aspect if they get a clean sheet. So he's nice to have as defender, and then also Mamouche, Haaland out. With regards to a third asset, yeah, it's difficult for sure, but with all the like, you've got Grealish fit, Doku fit, everyone's fit, so that midfield spot's difficult for sure. I think it's
What
all
about
timing.
Chelsea? What about Chelsea? Like, for example, Chelsea is fighting for top four. Who do you go for Chelsea other than, say, Palmer and maybe Cucurella? But then your
I
defense is
just
not
think
great either.
I, we've kept 6 clean sheets in the last 8,
But
so
you have had good
we've seen
fixtures
them.
as well. You had Southampton, Leicester.
Yeah,
I
of
mean, come
course,
on.
but you play the fixtures. We've got Ipswich this game week. Is that not a good fixture? Like, you're supposed to play the fixtures. If anyone went for Cucurella, they've been rewarded beyond belief. I think Cucurella and Palmer are 2 good assets from our team. I think we've got Everton in 34 at home. It's another good fixture. And we play Man United in 37 at home. So, and Ipswich at home this week. At home, we've been more solid. I've definitely seen an improvement. I'm not saying with an amazing top 3 defense all of a sudden, but
Yeah.
I can be hopeful based off recent performances, which can spike confidence that there's hope of a clean sheet, whereas beforehand we were more open than the Red Sea.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. There's been something that's changed with the tactics. I don't know if it's because Jackson hasn't been playing, so the coach doesn't want to be pushing too much forward because he doesn't trust the other players, or he's just playing a little bit more balanced, and I think that's better for Chelsea anyway, long term. That's really a good point. Yeah,
You play
I
the
think the
double.
key. I did just want to mention one more thing about Bruno. Bruno's the type of pick, maybe the likes of Bowen, like these types of players gonna be playing once a week. They won't have any double game weeks, but they're still going to be good
We have
picks.
nothing to
I
play
want
for,
to
brother.
just
We have nothing to
yeah, no,
play
no, but I
for.
want I wanna just say I just wanna say this about Bruno, like, Bruno's been a 90-minute man basically his entire career. He barely misses games, and we take it for granted similar to, like, Mo Salah, but this was the portion of the season where Bruno missed a game for some sort of injury that he picked up, like, this is the portion of the season I think Bruno can miss a match. I think you just have to be aware of that because at this point, man, you should be prioritizing the Europa League, and the same has to be said with Tottenham Hotspur, but Ange doesn't really care about the Prem, and everybody knows that. That's why nobody owns any Spurs assets, but I just wanna just maybe, put that caution into Bruno owners, right?
Yeah, what's your thoughts on the Brumo aspect? Because a lot of people own Brumo as well. 36% own. What do you think? Do you think Brentford has anything left to play for?
No, I don't think they have anything to play for. I don't think they're fighting for top 4 or anything like that. I
So
just
that's what I'm
think
saying. So having
Brentford
Mbemo or Bruno, that, like, for example, I don't like having those assets right now because I don't see them playing for anything. And if there's nothing to play for, like,
yeah,
what's the motivation really? You know what I mean? So yes, they're
yeah,
historically good FPL
good point.
assets that get output, but
Yo,
and the talent
let
man
me
as
come
well.
in here. Let me come in here. I just read something from the chat. Benji said broken hand Gibbs White. I don't know if Benji, can you confirm who you're referring to, please? Are you saying Gibbs White has a broken hand? Like, what are you saying?
Yeah, I think you might be talking about Bruno's broken hand last year, but anyway,
Oh, okay.
um, yeah,
Sorry.
no worries. But, yeah, uh I think, yeah, the point on Brentford is like I think it's comes back to Stark's main point, which is like so many teams in the Prem don't have anything to fight for. Like usually at this point in the season, we'd have like a relegation battle, we'd have like a title race battle, a top 5 battle. Like all of this stuff would be happening at the same time, but it's pretty mid this year. Like the title's pretty much wrapped up, relegation battle's pretty much wrapped up. The
Can
only
I just
teams
say
that have something
something
to
by the
fight
way?
for are
Can I just say something
the
by the way on
teams chasing
Stark?
the top 5. Yeah.
Can I just say on Stark? Stark was mentioning something really important in game week 24, 25, and even in game week 20, which a lot of people actually, I guess, didn't take seriously. and he was actually right about it. I don't know if he remembers, but when the whole assistant manager saga happened, right, we were early on the 24 chip. A lot of people came back with the counterpoint that, oh, towards the end of the season, there's always upsets, there's always team on the bitch, X, Y, and Z, right? So now we're coming to the end of the season in game week 36, 37, 38. These relegation teams have nothing to play for because they're already confirmed relegated. And Stark actually said this and predicted this. He said, listen, these relegation teams this season are not of the past, and they're horrendous, right? The likes of Southampton, Ipswich, and Leicester. And how do you target them with assistant managership now because they have nothing left to play for? Do you know what I mean? You're actually
Yeah,
running out
no,
of weeks. You're
it's
actually
such
running
a
out of weeks
pity.
to, yeah, you're actually running out of
Yeah,
weeks to use your assistant managership, and it's actually becoming a liability. So when you earlier talked about chips having chips, right? You said, oh, if you have one or two chips, it's really powerful. It's not just having one or two. It's about which chips do you have, right? For example, if you have a bench
mm,
boost, if you have a system manager, I'm sorry, but it's actually hampering your ability to optimize the strategy, right? Than to be a helpful thing for you. That's just what I
yeah.
just observed,
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, that's a key point because, like, you'll see something. I'll give you an example. Everton is the classic type of example. In the second half of the season, towards the last 5 or 6 games, they're always at number one or number two in the form table. They pick up all these 1-0 wins. They continuously do this for the past 3 or 4 seasons. They've been doing this. But this year, what's the point? Like, what are they fighting for? Like, that's the problem.
Yeah,
So, like, that's
that's
the
for
thing.
me. That's why it's so important for me to like. Obviously, I'm going to play the doubles, and I'm because you have to in this scenario. But post the doubles, I'm really going to be targeting these teams for who are they, what are they fighting for? Because it's not a coincidence that Everton, when they need to stay up, are scraping 1-0 wins. It's not going to be a coincidence when Forest scrape 1-0 wins to get top four. These things are not going to be a coincidence. They're fighting for a greater purpose, and that's the motivation players need to enhance their performance on the pitch. It's sports psychology. It's just
I have
facts.
one selfish question here. Does Brighton have anything left to play for? Because I'm looking to buy Minter, and if they have nothing to play
They're
for,
not.
I'm
They're
not
not
gonna.
that far off, bro. They're only 6 points off Chelsea in the table. They're not out of the equation, like by any stretch.
Yeah,
And if
they'll be
that's the
fighting
case,
for like
yeah.
Europe, right?
So, can someone confirm? Like, does Brighton have anything left to play for, like Europa or Champion League? I don't know the
Yeah, of
tables.
course, of course. Yeah, definitely. They can be fighting for Europe. Like Fulham, Aston Villa, Brighton, even Bournemouth have an outside chance of Europa League.
Oh, Bournemouth don't have, like, Bournemouth have more than an outside chance, bro.
They
Bournemouth are
have a
in
better
it
odds.
because
They have a better odds, yeah, for
it's
Champion League.
it's. I'm pretty sure it's
Really?
top
Yeah.
five, top five for Champions League. If Chelsea win the conference, I don't know how that'll impact it, but I could see top eight qualifying for conference, Europa League, Champions League.
Yeah, no, I loved Bournemouth, but their fixtures get so difficult now. I mean, it's gonna be difficult for them to really because they've dropped all these points in their easy fixture run. It's crazy. I can't believe what happened to Bournemouth, man.
Ryan Christie out for the season, by the way. He's a big part of that midfield, which you'll know the catalyst to a team, the heart to a team is the midfield. Ryan Christie out. I mean, let's see how it impacts their performance, but I think he'll
I
be a
hope
big
they get
miss
shit on.
personally.
I hope they get battered. I hope they get freaking relegated, those bums, bro. Especially Areola, bro. Like, I'm sick and tired of him speaking in code language, bro. All of a sudden, he picked up his habits to be Arteta 2.0. Why is he speaking to me in codes? He's telling me, oh, it's fatigue. Oh, it's just muscular. Oh, he's being assessed. My man Claver has been assessed for the last 2 weeks, bro. How long does an assessment take, bro? Like, what? 20 business working days to get an assessment, bruv. Come on, man. If you guys need a doctor, I'll send you a doctor over there, bruv. I know a few people. I make some phone calls and I'll assess
Yo,
him on the spot, bro. It would be one day, bro.
yo,
Less than one day, bro. Come on, man.
let's uh let's actually talk about Bench Boost 32 because there's a lot of asset. Let's actually talk about in detail and for example, Gabriel, who would you replace him with? Foden, for example, Gordon, Clivert. Let's run through that, Kanji.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
Let's do
yeah, for
so.
sure. Well, let's start with Gabriel. He's like the number one option. I mean, if you're sitting there with Gabriel, like who would you be considering?
Well, I already own Kanate, but I've brought in Cucurella. So my move was Gabriel to Cucurella, but I already own a Liverpool defender. If I already owned a Chelsea defender and I didn't own a Liverpool defender, I think I'd go for a Liverpool defender. I think either Chelsea or Liverpool, if you're on free hit 33, I think they're the best options because it does align with your chip strategy as well.
Mm. I like Konate, definitely. If you're considering Van Dijk, please just stop. Like, it's not worth spending the extra money. I know it's a little bit, romantic, I would say, or nostalgic because, like, he's signing the new contract and everything. But No, Konate's better value. Bradley's coming back as well, but I don't know if his minutes will be nailed all the way till the end of the season. I'm assuming Trent will want to come back and play 1 or 2 games towards the end. But I like those two as replacements. Kukurea is there as well. What do you
What
think,
about
Kayman?
Can't
Connor
shit on
Bradley?
Van Dijk.
What about Connor Bradley? I mean, he's
Oh
fit,
yeah,
he's playing,
definitely.
right?
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
starting. He's starting. The coach said he's fit to start for the
so
first time.
if you wanted to be a
Um,
bit, if you wanted like a bit more attacking asset, Connor Bradley is there, but obviously it's a bit short term. And then Konate is the next best option in my opinion. If you don't have Konate for Gabriel replacement, and then the third I'll have, if you're free hitting in 34, I would have Guardiola probably ahead of both of Connor Bradley, Kukurea, and Konate. I'd have Guardiola number one if you're free hitting 34. However, if not, it will be
yeah, yeah,
Konate, Kukurea, and Bradley maybe. Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely a
Also, I want
Forest
to give
defender.
a
For us defender,
Yeah, I was
obviously,
gonna
yeah.
say the,
Yeah.
the most important thing, like we're just skipping over this because a lot of us have forest defense on our team, but
Yeah.
like Milenkovic or Nico Williams are really good picks, and I think getting towards double, like
Yeah.
from game week 34 to the end, will be pretty important defensively.
Now, facts. I
I'd go
listen.
Nico.
If you don't have a forest defender, you're not playing the game right, in my opinion. Like I don't know how much more information you need to be able to have a forest defender in your team. I don't care what strategy you go on, regardless of your strategy, free hit, not free hit, you have to have a forest defender. It's a default thing. So I don't have to say it, to be fair. And if you wanted to double up on forest, which is a good entry point this week, I wouldn't mind either. Like if you wanted to get both Nico and Milinkovic to bench boost 32, go for it. Like, but in terms of my pecking order, I will
If,
have
mon-
go on.
if money wasn't an issue, who would you go for, Milenkovic or
I like Nico.
Nico Williams?
Nico, I think people are
I love
overlooking
Nico
him because of
Williams, man. I love him. What a boy. What a
yeah.
boy, man.
He's been really unlucky to
He's so
get more
attacking.
returns. Yeah,
I think
He is. He's very
was
attacking.
Ole Aina out last game?
yeah, he was. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah,
I think him being out, I think is going to increase Williams' attacking threat, man. I think there's going to be a bit of a knock-on effect because he was more attacking last game.
yes, because
yeah.
Alex
He almost
Moreno is
scored.
all completely rubbish going forward. He's not great. So
Yeah,
Who?
yeah,
Alex Moreno, he's
yeah, definitely.
he's a bit more of a defensive asset rather than attacking. He's not very good at going forward.
Yeah, we had a question in the chat, by the way. It was from Igor. He said, if you had to pick one between Konate and Bradley, who would you pick?
Konate,
Start?
Bradley's short term for me.
Yeah.
Bradley is short term because I think Trent's pushing back the end of April. So I don't hate the Van Dijk pick if you've got the money and you don't want to, because if you can't afford transfers, right? So I remember FPL Dan back in like the start of the season, game week 6 or something on wildcard. He went Van Dijk ahead of Konate, and Konate got injured. So it's like Konate is susceptible to these stupid injuries because he's not as strong as Van Dijk or robust as him. So, but if I was going Konate or Bradley, probably Konate, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'd go Bradley though. I'd like a little
That's
bit of
crazy,
spice.
by the way. Sorry, that's crazy. I literally just said his name, and Dan just commented in the chat, and he's probably not heard me mention his name. That's crazy timing. Sorry.
Yo,
Shout
Dan.
out to FPL Danny.
When Moreno comes on for Forest, he usually comes to do some defensive works. He doesn't really go attacking that much, and he's not a great attacking asset going forward. From my eye test, anyways. I'm not saying that his history. I know his history or anything like that, but from what I've seen, he's not very good going forward. Nico is far better going
Yeah,
forward.
he's
From
just
my
not a baller,
analysis.
bro. Yeah, how it
Can I
is.
ask you guys a question? Actually, no. We'll continue through. Who's next? Foden or Clivert replacement?
I would go
You
for
go ahead, bro.
Clivert.
You pick one.
Clivert for me. I think Clivert is a bum, and I think you need to
Kayman,
get
what are you
rid of him.
thinking? Because you're in this boat yourself.
Yeah, I think he's a bum. You need to get rid of him. I don't know how you can get injured. Like I don't know how you can miss 2-3 games with fatigue. Like you need to man up. You need to take care of yourself. You're a professional footballer. You get paid millions to play football, and if you say you're fatigued, like what do you mean? How are you fatigued? Why are you not taking care of yourself? Like stop eating cakes too much. Stop having this. Calm down with the ice creams. Right, lose some weight. Right, play professional football, and be on the pitch and be available, bro. Your team needs you. They're losing games because you're not there. Right, that's my advice to Clive. In terms of replacement, I'm struggling, man. I'm literally struggling. Like, I genuinely don't know what's the best replacement because, like, if you're looking at the likes, for example, if you want to go for a Forest mid, like Elango is a really good option, but he's injured. For example, you had Mitoma, who obviously was probably one of the most nailed assets, other than JP, who's also not nailed for Brighton. He's also a doubt. And then you got Morgan Gibbs White, but I'm not a big fan of him because I feel like he's playing more of a creator role rather than like scoring goals. And then you got Boomer
Yeah.
and Bruno, who has nothing to left to play for. So there's not many options there available for you to go. Like obviously people will say go for Rodgers, go for Asensio. But there are so many Villa mids that you can go for that you don't even know which one is the right one to go for. I genuinely don't know in terms of like what's the best Clive replacement, but I would say it's team dependent. I feel like if you're on free hit 34, the chip strategy wise, if you're on free hit 34, I'd say go for maybe a Villa mid, but I don't know which one, or a City mid. Again, I don't know which one. I know it's not helping guys right now, but I'm struggling myself honestly. I do not know what's the best Clive replacement. I'm personally currently thinking Minte, but even I'm not convinced because long term maybe he's not going to start many games. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I'm actually genuinely struggling.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the answer is actually really obvious, and like it's Bumo. Now, it goes part and parcel with it goes, in hand with the question we had before, but like if you could spend more money and go from Konate to Van Dijk, like see, it's people that have gone and put their money into the Variols of the world, into the Gabriels of the world, the Konates of the world. They can't afford having like the big money upfront, which is going to be like Isak, Mateta, Marmoush, and then also having Salah, Palmer, Bumo, maybe another midfielder. Like you can't afford it all by having a big defense. So I think you take money out of that defense and you put Bumo in that spot. He just has so many routes to points, and like the fixtures at the end of the season are good. He plays once a week. I think he's second or third on total FPL points this season. Like I don't think there's much to worry about. I know when he plays Arsenal this week as well, I know it's a terrible entry point, but that should be a rotated Arsenal team. And at the end of the season, you're going to be happy you went there, right? So that's how I look at it. But if you don't have the money to go up to him, then
No, I
that's
have the
where you
money to
start
go
to
up
run
to
into
him. I have
problems.
the money to go up to him if I take a hit. If I take Gordon out for Murphy, I have the money to go up Boomer. But I was thinking like I don't like the entry point. You're going into Boomer when he's playing Arsenal, and then you're going into him when he's playing Forest. Like these are not great fixtures for him.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the you get most of the points at the end of the season. You're going to get like 35, 36, 37, 38. Those are going to be the fixtures where you'll
these are horror fixtures like Arsenal, Forest. Like I don't know. I mean, Brighton
You
is
also
decent.
are the guy that posted your thread about how you don't like Bumo sometimes because of his positioning. You don't like Shada's impact on Bumo as a pick. He plays right wing back, so
Yeah, I
I
don't want to go
totally
back
get
there,
that.
man. I don't want to go back there. I don't know, man. It's just so sad that Clive is not available, and that's why I'm frustrated. That's why I'm cussing him so much because I knew that this was the asset to hold from game week 30 to game week 38. Like I knew that was the asset, and that's why I even took a risk on wildcard to carry him, thinking that he might be available in 2 weeks' time. But unfortunately, he's still being assessed. So right now,
Yeah.
on the spot, I'm looking at Minte. That's I guess my one of the best. I guess that's the best Clive replacement for now. Minte and maybe Morgan Gibbs
Yeah.
White, 1 and 2.
Yeah. Oh, see, on wildcard, I went without Cliver, and I had this debate when I was on the wildcard, like who's the alternative to Cliver, and that's when I stumbled upon a City
Foden.
midfielder, and I picked Foden, but I think Foden was the wrong choice. But I think it's so annoying with the rotation, but I do think City, man, like damn, they've got good fixtures, could double again, like. I don't know, man. Savio, it's a shame. It actually is. Pep's just a prick. Pep, fuck you.
Bro, it's so hard, man. It's so hard because, like, okay, Liverpool mids, maybe Liverpool mids. Who's nailed? Like, Liverpool fans, help us out here. Who's nailed? Do you guys think? Because I could afford like up to 9 million. Like, I could get Diaz, Jota, Bruno. I have 9 million to spend if I take a hit to replace
Okay, man.
Clive.
No one's nailed. No one is nailed.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just so sad, bro.
Everyone's
For the
healthy.
next 3 fixtures, it's like Jota, West Ham, Leicester, Tottenham. Could Jota cook? But I've looked at his minutes. Yeah, he's been getting a lot of starts, but he gets subbed in the 60th minute, like every
Bro,
game.
he's also been terrible apart from his goal last game. For the last like 3 or 4 months, he's been horrific. Like, what's the point? Like, and Diaz
I'm
is
hearing
fit and Gakpo is
Soboslai,
fit. Like,
Gravenberch. Guys, stop trolling, man. Be serious. I mean, Soboslai was maybe a serious shout, maybe, but Gravenberch, Benji, stop it, man. Stop it, bro. Be serious, bro.
Luis Diaz. What about Luis Diaz? No?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's
I mean, I
starting every
actually had him
game.
in. Yeah.
I might go for him. I mean, look,
Yeah.
if I'm going for Minte, he's a rotation risk. Why not just go for Diaz?
Diaz got benched
Okay.
last game. It's crazy.
Oh my god, bro.
He came on and scored. But he got benched. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Bro, the
Oh.
fact that you guys are considering this over Bumo is crazy, bro.
Bro,
I find
Buma
that
plays
great.
Forest and Arsenal, bro. What do you mean, bro? And he plays right
Bro,
back, bro.
he'll return in one of them, and then you'll want him at the end of the
Bro,
season
you want
anyway.
Buma just
So,
for pens. That's about it, bro. Penalty merchant, bro. Like,
no, bro,
when
I
is the
know he's
last
a
time
good
he
pick.
scored an open play goal, bro? When is the last time he scored an open play goal, my bro?
Bro, I don't know. And he actually didn't play well against Chelsea because I watched the whole game. They have some frustrating players in that team, bro. That Stada guy, he frustrates me when I watch him. But bro, it's that Bumo to Wissa combination. There will be goals, especially in the bigger games. Like he'll end up being in like the front two. Anyway,
Bro,
I think Liverpool could obliterate Leicester, by the way. I reckon they could absolutely obliterate Leicester, like a 6-0, 7-0. You know a Luis Diaz like 17-point special where he just gets
yeah.
a brace.
What happened to
Like,
Jota? So what
you
happened
know
to
what I'm
Gakpo? Is he
saying?
out of favors, bro? Is he out of favors?
I mean, no, there's just rotation, Kayman. Like they're all healthy.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. It's gonna kill me, bro. Sorry, guys, if I haven't been able to help
I
you
know.
guys much.
No
I'm
worries,
just
no
stuck on
worries. But
Minte, to be honest.
I think it's a really good
I'm just praying
discussion.
Foden starts. I'm just praying Foden starts tomorrow, and if he does, I'm cooking. If he doesn't, I will be making the late transfer for potentially Savio, potentially. Jeez, man, I don't know, man.
Wait, are City their early kickoff?
Yeah,
I don't
Oh,
even know,
damn.
bro. I don't even know,
Interesting.
honestly.
So
I
that
don't
could be
know,
really
bro.
important. Like if you're holding
I could
Foden,
go
I
Eze
guess just
though.
wait for the news. Yeah. Yeah, you could just hold and
I
wait
don't
for the
have
news.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have free Palace, so I could go Eze.
Yeah, that's a good option. That's a good
I know,
option for
that's
you.
obvious. Bro, that's very obvious. But I'm sure Foden will probably start. But let's see what happens.
All right. So if you guys had
Let's move
to,
on.
think
So
before we move on, if you guys had to rank the three moves I
yeah.
mentioned, I've got currently Minte 1. I've got Gibbs White 2nd, and a Liverpool mid. I don't know which one. These are 3 options I've got currently. Which one do you guys like the most for Clive replacement?
Name again?
So Minte 1, Gibbs White 2nd, and a Liverpool mid. It could be Jota, Diaz. I don't know anyone.
Shit. Pick your shit.
Oh
Literally,
my
bro.
days, bro. Oh my god, bro. It's absolute garbage, bro. It's
I'm
garbage, man.
joking.
It's
Going
actually
from
serious.
Clivert to a Liverpool mid, I feel like it's just headache to headache, man. You know what I
The
mean?
headache,
Yep.
headache. You're right. Yeah, you're
Yep.
right. But what Minte is also a headache now. Like you don't know with Brighton what's gonna happen. Like it's rotation.
Exactly. He is. I think you got a Dingro, you got Gruder, you got March back. Like I would not go for Minte personally.
Oh
Not a
my god.
chance. I'd go for Minte.
Oh,
Gibbs
At
White,
least with Gibbs White, you get the nailed minutes, right? And he's potentially on pens while Chris Wood is out.
but Chris Wood's coming back any minute. So it's like this whole bullshit about he's on pens. He's not going to be on pens when Chris Wood's back. So
Yeah,
what
I
about
agree. I agree.
Asensio? What about Asensio just going all out? Going all out.
Well, Asensio is interesting because he's supposed to start Asensio or Mullen. Well, because it's like against Southampton, the opposing right winger always eats versus Southampton. So it's like if you're gonna go there, why not just go to Mullen? Because I think he's cup tied in the Champions League, so he can't play. Maybe could be wrong.
You don't like these 3. So what do you like? Do you like? I don't even know, bro.
Kayman,
the
these
thing with
are all
Asensio
like
came out.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what it is with Asensio? He's going to probably play Southampton, but I actually think Villa fans are screaming for him to start the second leg of PSG. So I don't see him getting 90 minutes versus Southampton. I think he gets 50, 60 max, and he plays that second leg. I think they need him for that set. I think he's part of their best team.
Then we're back to Bruno and Bruno then, bro.
Facts,
I'm
man.
not getting Bruno for a fuck that.
Damn, eh? This is the same guy that stole Bruno, and then Bruno ended up getting like 45 points in 3 weeks.
But he
It's
literally has
Bruno, man.
Europa
It's
League
Bruno.
with Newcastle away.
Marino.
Like,
Handy
why
said
would you go for Bruno?
Marino. Do you guys like Marino?
Yeah, so Marino's interesting. The thing is, do we think all the good players for Arsenal are going to start in the league anymore, or do you think they'll get rests in the league? Like, I don't know, man.
I don't even know, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to be there. That can be someone else's punch. I'm okay with
Oh,
that.
this game, bro. I hate this game, bro. I'm at a point where this game is just.
There's people contemplating Madueke. It's gotten that peak.
Bro, I
Yeah.
can't believe I've actually genuinely considered Bruno today, bro. That's how bad it got, bro. Because I can't think of any options that I like. It got to the point where I went to my worst enemy you can think of, bro. I said, is Bruno an
Bro, but
option?
don't go to Bruno, man. He's in Europe as well. That's the
Okay,
thing. I
but I
prefer
don't
Bruno
see any
over Bruno.
options, bro. I mean, if anywhere I go, it's a rotation risk, or they don't have great fixtures. Like there's no all green ticks anywhere, bro. Like the only player that had a lot of green ticks was Cliver, and this freaking fat cake is not healthy, bro. He's got fatigue, bro. He needs to go do some cardio, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Maybe, yeah, bro. I mean, Bowen is there as well. Would you consider Bowen? Obviously not for
But
Liverpool, but
hell no. Hell no. You see West Ham's attack? It's anti-football, bro. Them man, they're playing different level anti-football, bro. That's Taliban FC, bro. No way, man. No chance I'm gonna go there, bro. I'm not going to. Bro, I'd rather go to a
all right, let's
I would actually. I know what? I actually like Liverpool. I genuinely like Liverpool because, bro, like I'm saying 34. I wanted like a double, like a Liverpool attack. Tottenham, right? 33.
yeah.
I want a Liverpool attacker, like especially other than Salah, who's gonna give me some points. Leicester
Yeah.
and West Ham, bro. I genuinely think my option is to go for a double like Liverpool attack, bro. Honestly, I don't know which one.
Okay, if that's how you feel, let me tell you this. So, one of my friends in the past, like before I got bigger on FPL Twitter, this was just one of my bros, like we were talking. He always liked to own the left winger for Liverpool, and so what he did is he just owned Luis Diaz always, basically every season, and he finished like top 100K. That was his like differential every year,
Mhm.
consistently. And Diaz goes on these hot spells where he scores and he just continues to score in patches. Like he's really patchy. He's not really
Yeah,
like a consistent guy. I'm gonna give you a goal, a GA every 1 or 2 games. He's like he scores in patches and then he blanks in patches, right? He just picked up a return and then he has 3 good fixtures in a row. So if you're punting, I think you go Jota or Diaz. Like that's honestly where I would be going. If like you don't like Bumo and you want to take the risk, because Liverpool have the upside, bro. They could score like 10 goals in the next 3 games, and none of us would be surprised. So yeah, I prefer that over
yeah,
Mente and Gibbs White and all that. So yeah,
yeah. I mean, he's returned the last three
I
games,
think I'd
man. 4 games.
think I'd go Savio. If it was me, I think I'd go Savio, man.
He
yeah,
blanks though, whereas Liverpool they don't blank.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but West Ham's anti-football, like you said. You really
No, I'm
want to
saying
double up on them in bench
no,
boost.
no, but Liverpool at home, like they can destroy definitely. They
yeah,
can get
bro.
some goals. They can get some
Yeah,
goals.
100%.
But West Liverpool are
Marino
playing
is
shit
somebody
right
to
now.
consider.
That's also true.
Marino is
Liverpool are
someone
playing.
to
Yeah.
like Marino is someone to consider as well because he's like an out of position player. He's the striker for Arsenal, but midfielder in FPL, similar to what Jota would be. He is nailed, but we don't know if he's going to start, and Arsenal care about the Prem, right? So that's the thing. So yeah,
Do you
all of
really
this
think
is such a
Marino? Do
risk.
you really think Marino's going to start this Brentford game?
I don't know who else is going to start in the striker position. Is it going to be like I'm sure Yeri and Trossard, maybe Sterling. It's probably going to be that front three. That's what I'd assume.
Yeah, I don't. Trossard is supposedly going to be striker. It's Nwaneri, Trossard, Sterling, and there's Marino in midfield.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see, bro. Yo, sorry, Kayman, this is such a mess, bro. Like, I don't
This is a
like
mess. I
those
don't know what to do.
options are all like they're
I
all
don't know what
not
to
good.
do.
Like, I'll just tell you how it is. Like, the thing is with at least with Marino and Diaz and Jota, you have a high ceiling, so you can easily get big hauls that'll bail you out, right? It's the same with Foden. Like, even though we don't like his minutes, he can give you a 15-point haul out of his butt, and then he saves you, right? So,
Has Jota
yeah,
started the last few games? He's been starting, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like Jota to be fair. I think I've always liked him. I don't know if he's
Yeah,
more
but yeah,
nailed
I'll
than
tell you,
Diaz or not.
this has been his worst season, bro. Eye test wise, he's been horrific. Like he's taking shots. Sometimes it goes closer to the corner flag than it does to the net, bro. It's
Oh
insane.
my days. All right, can you want to touch on free hit 33 draft quickly?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So I actually posted this on Twitter. I think I had like 700 likes, 500 bookmarks on this tweet. So make sure you follow all three of us on Twitter. We've got FPL Kayman, Kanji FPL, and then Stark is on at FPL Roundtable. So if you could follow us, I think that's really important because we're not always able to pod every single day, but we post on Twitter every single day. And we do have our spaces that Stark is hosting. He does a wonderful job with that. So yeah, I think when we're looking at this free hit, I wanted to break it down. You start off first with the Arsenal players. I mentioned this earlier. We don't know if Marino is going to start, and you just put in the two most nailed picks in Arsenal, which are going to be Raya, Saliba, and then you go for Saka, of course, because he's the star boy. He's their best player. Even though we don't know if he's going to start both games, you want to be there just in case he goes off and he does get the starts. Then you go for Vardio, Marmoush, Man City players in the double game week that are both nailed. I think Marmoush is a better captain than Saka. So that's kind of the key of where I started. Then I asked myself, do I want to go for Eze plus Mateta plus Sar, or do I drop Sar and go to Munoz? And just in general, when we were talking about, defensive assets, it's hard to really get defensive points. But Munoz definitely is one of those defenders that's attacking, puts himself into incredible positions. At times, he's higher in the pitch than everyone except for Mateta. So Munoz for me would just be a lock. And that's why it's like I ended up with Vardio, Munoz, Saliba, Raya, Saka, Mateta, Marmoush. Like those seven kind of just fell into place. And then Salah, of course, against Leicester. And then you'd have your triple Palace, you've got your triple Arsenal, you got your double Man City. And that's where Rodgers has to come in because like he's just been way, way, way too good for Aston Villa. And the Rashford spot is the fun spot, really. You can go for a Watkins in that position. You can go for an Asensio. You can go for a Mullen. You can go for a Foden. You can also, again, put Sarr in that spot and drop Munoz and go into somebody like Connor Bradley. Like there are options for you. But I just found that if I can maximize the amount of fixtures that I have, this is just my best route to maximize points. And that's why I think it's really well received. Yeah, I think this
I've got an
free hit,
issue with this
honestly,
draft.
of
I've
course,
got an
go,
issue
go
with
ahead,
this
bro.
draft, Candy.
What do you think, bro?
Why is Shapeshifter R9 first on the bench, and why is he not starting?
Bro, JP, it's funny. He's
JP
so
should be in
cheap,
that
by the way.
starting 11, bro. Huh?
Nah, you're tripping, bro. Nah. Should I start him over Salah or what? Um, nah,
100%, bro. He's on
he's
pens.
so get out of here. So JP's cheap. So is Bradley. So is Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, that's why they'd be like cheap picks on the free hit. But do you guys agree with the Rashford pick, or would you go somewhere else? Like, what do you think?
I think the fact that you don't have Watkins on this free hit is it's a skill issue. Personally, that's my opinion.
Definitely.
Sorry, Candy. That was that harsh.
No, that's bro. I'm with you, bro. Like I
I'm
understand that.
sorry.
I actually understand that.
No,
No, it's
no.
fair, bro. Like I agree. The thing is like, why didn't Watkins start in the Champions League? That's like one of their most important games of the season, and he didn't start. So something isn't right. You know?
Fair enough. Dan said to go. I think it's Diaz, Gakpo, and Salah as the front three versus West Ham. We'll see. I might go for Diaz or something. The other one, no, the free hit looks fine. I just would have Watkins there, if he's fit, personally, over Rashford maybe. Yeah, that's just about it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Do you want to just review our chip strategy on slide 6?
Yeah, I was on it for a while. Go for
Oh
it.
shoot, sorry. Oh my god. I can't really see, but you can walk through, bro.
Well, I'm currently obviously I walk out in 30, which was a disaster. I've had a red arrow since then. I've had a red arrow in 30, 31, back-to-back red arrows. I'm about to make a hat trick in 32 because I'm gonna take a hit. I'm bench boosting this week in 32 and navigating double 33 as well as blank 34. And I'm also on free hit 36 and navigating blank 37. You might have heard the word navigate a lot of times right here because I am navigating the Red Sea. So wish me luck. Yeah, and Kanji's chip strategy is assistant manager 31 to 33. I think you went with Frank, was it? Frank in game week 31. And now he's going to Eddie Howe for, I think, safe reasons. Are you going to go anywhere else? From Eddie Howe to anywhere else?
Eddie Howe makes sense. By the way, I feel so hard done by only getting 10 points. Like Chelsea played a completely backup team. Palmer didn't start. Jackson didn't start, but it's okay. I'll take 10 points and move on. But yeah, Eddie Howe makes sense for me. And then next week, I guess Arteta. I guess.
Okay. You see, this is the problem. You're playing the game wrong, Kanji. I'm sorry. You're going for too much favorites, bro. You're bound to get disappointed. I hope it works out for you. But when I went for favorites, bro, I didn't like the feeling. I genuinely didn't. But fair enough.
Yeah.
And then obviously,
I mean, Eddie Howe was a lock. Eddie Howe was a lock in 32 because he's at home in both games.
Oh my god, bro. Okay, bro.
33, we can decide.
He's playing the greatest club in the world, Manchester United, bro. And you're saying it's a lock, bro. Have some respect, bro. Have some damn respect,
It's
bro.
an absolute lock.
Okay, get the hell out of here, bro. We're the biggest club in the world, and you're talking about having an Eddie Howe lock. Don't watch out, bro. Watch out. I'm just letting you know. When Amarim danks on Eddie Howe, bro, I'm gonna come here and do the Sue celebration on your forehead, bro. Watch out, bro. I'm gonna lie to you, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's at St James's Park, and your game is squashed in between fucking Lyon, home and away.
Yeah, but
Your
you never
biggest game in
know.
the
We
season.
might play Taliban football and get a draw, you know? You never know.
Nah, you're about to get cooked, bro. You don't realize it, bro. Trust. You
Obviously
can't have
then,
Bruno save you every single week, bro. It's fine.
yeah, right. And then you're gonna navigate 34 blank and bench boost 36. I don't know how you're gonna bench boost
Yeah.
36.
Hey man,
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah.
remember how dominated Liverpool got in that final, by the way, because they were leggy.
Yeah.
So if United, who are not even close to the team Liverpool are, you're going to be up against Joel Linton, Tonali, and Gamarish at St James's Park after fucking being leggy against Lyon. You're getting smashed. You're actually getting smashed, bro.
We will see, mate. We will see. Um,
Yeah.
I think we've shown the screen for a while now, but
Yeah, no problem.
anything else you guys want to say on this?
PFC time, isn't it?
PFC time, yeah.
Yeah, definitely PFC time, 100%, bro. So why don't we review game week 30, Kayman? Why don't you review it? I can't see it.
All right. So for game week 30, I went for 2 out of 3. I've got Mateta punters. I got it wrong, but JP flop did work. That was always a lock, and I've got Marmish. Although I didn't captain him, but yeah, I did think he would do well versus Leicester. Kanji went 1-4-3. He's got Sar as a punt, which definitely failed. Diaz also scored, so it didn't work out. Marmish is the captaincy, which also worked out for him. And Starks got Eze punt again. All of our punts was rubbish because Palace decided to not show up versus Southampton. Unfortunately, his flop did
Crazy.
work though with Robinson, and captaincy flop with Salah. It's interesting because I put Marmush as captain, but I didn't captain him, and Stark put Salah as captain. He also didn't captain him, but it worked out in my favor.
Yeah, that's
It's just
so
quite
weird.
funny.
Yeah, sir, why did you go for Salah captaincy PFC, bro?
I don't know. I should have been on Mamouche because I was going to always captain him. So I think that's just a brain fart from my behalf.
Is there a league table, Kayman, that we could see how we're
Yeah.
doing?
So currently I'm right behind Kanji, who
Yeah.
was really happy to be ahead of me. I'm only 1 point behind him, so I can't wait to catch him. So
Bro, every time
So-
Stark drops points, I don't capitalize, man. I feel like Arsenal out here.
don't worry about Stark. You should be worried about me. I don't know why you're worried about Stark. You should be worried about me, Kanji. It's not about Stark anymore. It's about Kayman and Kanji. Relax, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm on
Yeah, bro,
35.
yeah.
You're on 36. I'm coming for your ass, and Stark is obviously running over this shit. Let's hope that he throws a couple of more rounds, you know. So yeah, it's looking
Look at
nice
my
for
flop. Look at my flop consistency,
me.
man.
Flop consistency.
I need some
Yeah,
Viagra,
that's
bro.
crazy.
This guy, bro.
Damn,
All right, this week I got
that's
Minte
crazy.
as a punt. Pedro Porro is a lock flopped. That's 1 point. And I've got Isak as a captain. That's 2 points, bro. Minte, I don't know if hopefully it works out. But yeah.
Yeah. This guy's finessing Pedro Porro. He might not even start the game, fam.
I can't just got Livramento, Guardiola, and Isak. Livramento is interesting. I guess it doubles. That's why.
Yeah. I think the key is I wasn't sure who to put in that punt spot because we talked about it. They have to either get a clean sheet. If they get 6 points, it doesn't matter. They have to get a return, whether it's a goal, assist, or clean sheet, right? And I was thinking about it, Livramento actually has so many routes to points. I considered Trippier in that spot. I considered Murphy, but nah. I think I'm gonna go Livramento. He's been really solid. His XGI has been very good too. So maybe a clean sheet against Man United, we'll be there.
Got a lot of faith, man. We're gonna get battered. They're gonna keep clean sheet. You got a lot of faith in Newcastle, bro. I hope it works
Bro,
out.
who's scoring for you guys, bro? Who's scoring? Is it
Alright, bro,
Garnacho on the
alright.
counter? Bro, no, his decision making has been horrendous, bro. It's Bruno
Alright,
or
bro.
nothing with this team.
I hope Guardiola keeps the clean sheet, gets another 3 bonus points so they can cry. Go on, Stark. You got Malin, Rogers, and Isak.
Yeah, shout out Meerkat with his positional analysis in terms of which position on the pitch is a team's weakness. So we've seen consistently that the right winger against Southampton cooks. I've gone with Marlon because I think he's going to get 90 because he's not able to play Champions League. Rogers, I don't think is going to play, so I've flopped him. If I owned him, I'd bench him. If I was bench boosting 32, I'd be worried if I owned him. I don't think he plays. And captaincy Isak, 2 games at home. The guy's a beast.
Yeah, apparently
Yeah, fair,
Pierre
bro.
Harry
Fair
tweeted
play.
out saying Foden is injured, Stark. What's the plan with Foden?
Foden's injured.
Apparently, yeah.
I mean, we'll get the news. It's the early kickoff anyway.
No,
You don't
no.
have to
I'll tell you the
Apparently Harry made a
plan.
tweet.
I tell you the solution to Foden. Sam Miguel, mate.
What?
Mhm.
What?
Yeah, Foden picked up a knock
Drinking the
versus
pain away.
United. Finally picked up a knock versus United. Alhamdulillah, Foden is out. So now you can fuck up. You can hold that as well, by the way. It's not just me that's carrying
Wait,
fucking
so
injuries. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. It's not just fucking me with injuries, baby. Hold that, you fuckers. Hold that. Yeah? Cliver injured, yeah? Foden injured. Now hold that, bro. Let's go. Oh, yes,
damn.
bro. I'm happy. I'm gassed, bro. Yes. Yes, bro. Come on.
Right? No, but
Yo,
hang on a second. No,
bro,
but hang on a second. With chaos as a ladder, who's going to benefit from Foden's injury? Savio,
Savinho. Yeah.
Doku,
De Bruyne,
De
Grealish
Bruyne.
might play in the 10, right? KDB, yeah.
KDB.
Bro, I love that. There's no one to pick at Man City. I love that. Bro,
No,
there's
bro,
so much
I
risk.
might
I
go
love
for
it.
someone. I might go for someone, bro. I don't know. Yeah, Ben just said I feel for poor owners and offer my condolences. Yeah, likewise, bro. You know that meme? You know the meme where this guy that goes to someone's funeral where it says, "Just came to my biggest hater's funeral just to make sure that fucker is dead." That's how I feel right now, bro. That's how I feel, bro. This is me right now. This is me right now.
Oh
Mm.
my god, so good. All right, boys. That was a good PFC section. Shall we move on to team review?
Yeah, before we move on, guys, do share your PFC in the comment section below, and we'll score them and look at them. We'll do a little list next week on the pod just to see how you guys did. Do mention your PFC, and we'll obviously review and see how well you guys did. I'll try to maybe keep a track as well and see who done really well. It'll be really a fun way to interact. So yeah, moving on to game week 31, Kanji, your team review. You got overall 57 points.
Perfect.
Gone.
Yeah, so it's another hit in back-to-back weeks with taking a hit, but I've gotten green arrows every week somehow. This week, the AM saved me. It was another horrendous week. Thank God I brought Livermento in, by the way. I mean, thank God I put that in because like those goals of Livermento to Murphy would have destroyed me if I didn't own one of them. So that sort of kept me afloat, even though I didn't own Jacob Murphy, the rat. I mean, the Velociraptor. He looks like a dinosaur. And he literally destroyed my game week. But thankfully, my differential and Antoine Semenyo finally got me some points. All you haters, you can shut up now. Shout out to my boy Antoine. So thank you for rewarding the patience. Isak captaincy was a little bit annoying. I knew Salah wasn't going to do well. But yeah, it's weird to see Newcastle score so many goals and Isak to blank. It's a very rare occasion. Yeah, the team looks pretty good. Even though I didn't wildcard, it looks pretty close to some of the wildcard teams in a way. But Bumo and Semenyo will continue to be my differentials. So solid score, not complaining. I've actually gone up around a million places in the past like 6 or 7 weeks. So I'm really hot. I'm in the top 100,000 in terms of second chance rank, by the way. I know that doesn't matter, and that's the only thing I can really cling on to because my season's kind of over already, but trying my best to stay with the pack and try to climb 1 week at a time. So going to my game week 32 team selection, you'll see that front three or front six is going to be pretty consistent from now until the end of the season. And Munoz, Livermento, Henderson are doubling, and I had a guess between Konate, Milenkovic. I wasn't sure who to start, so I decided to just start them both because I don't really trust Semenyo. Without Cliver in the team, they're not playing as great. And Bournemouth have just been on this downtrend, bro. So I don't know what to do with them. So I'm just gonna bench Semenyo. I probably will have some points on the bench. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing like a four-back formation for the first time this season. And I made my move. The only transfer I made was Thomas Frank to Eddie Howe. Yeah, I'm cheering for Newcastle to go get the top four, man. Come on, boys, you got this.
Sorry, I don't even remember if I changed the team when you're going through it, but I'll quickly run through it. My boys got Henderson, Munoz, Konate, Livermento, Milinkovic. He's playing four at the back with Bimo versus Arsenal away. It's a confirmed blank, by the way. And he got Ipswich for Palmer. Again, he's another one pointer. Palmer is a bum. He's a fraud. Just to let you know, I own him, but he's a fraud. I think Saka's going to outscore him again because he's a bum. Salah is going to probably bang this week, new contract, And then you got Mateta, Mamush, Isak, template. I think, yeah, his team looks really strong, to be honest, bro, Kanji. Other than the fact that you got Beamer versus Arsenal away, I think it's a tough fixture, personally. But again, he probably
Yeah,
gets a
it's
pen.
it's
But yeah,
it's basically Jacob Murphy versus Eddie Howe. Let's see how that goes for this week, as well as Eze versus my Milinkovic slash Konate. So
yeah.
let's see
But
how it goes.
look strong though, anyways. I'll stock your game with 31 review quickly. Go on.
Um, right, the worst game week on the planet for me, to be honest.
I
Look at my
warned you
team.
about JP, bro. I
Oh,
warned you. I don't know. You didn't listen to me, bro. Fucking JP, bro. Fucking bum, man. Absolute
yeah,
bum.
you warned me. You warned me that he was a rotation risk. To be fair,
No, I warned you he's a bum. Even if he started, he wouldn't get anything. That's why I put him as a flop on my PFC, and you saw that. You know what I mean?
bro. Keep it. Foden off early after Old Trafford called his mum a slag.
Yo,
Palmer benched,
that's crazy.
and
That's
and
crazy.
Joao
That's foul.
Pedro gets rotated in the biggest derby of the season. So we'll make it back in the bench boost. Don't worry, man.
Inshallah,
Don't
bro.
worry.
Inshallah, bro.
We go again. We go again, man.
Oli
Isak
Busquets said a
flopping is a cap.
Gore had in 30 minutes.
Yo, Isak blanking, by the way, is actually jarring.
It is, bro. So annoying. Salah always gets away with it. This guy, man.
Alright,
Yo,
you're
go to
32
my
team.
32
Yeah, you got 32 team winner right now.
bench boost is active. Gabriel to Cucurella has been confirmed.
Uh-huh.
Foden's obviously a knock. He'll be leaving my team. Gordon will be staying in my team.
What's the
Man.
plan with Foden?
So
Because I'm interested because I've got the same issue with Clivert. You got Foden, I got Clivert. What's the plan with him? What are you cooking? What are you cooking, bro? Let me hear it, bro.
I don't like the reason why I'm put off Savio is because they've got Oscar Bob, who's back now and he got minutes and he's quite a decent talent, I'd say. So I'm actually looking at Doku because I think Grealish is going to come into the middle because Foden's injured. So I think that reduces Doku's what's the word? Rotation threat.
X minutes threat, yeah.
Grealish could play left wing. Like I don't honestly. I have no idea, bro.
Yeah,
I
man.
have
Luis
no
Diaz
idea.
and
I'm gonna
Bumo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
probably
I'm
just go.
saying. I
I just
have no
probably go.
idea, man. I have no idea as well,
I
bro.
think I'll probably go for
Eze, innit?
Eze. To be
Yeah,
honest.
Eze.
Yeah.
So I said for
Oh
you, it's easy
yeah,
Eze.
bro. You don't. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Easy,
just
bro.
get Eze. Otherwise, your team looks good.
Yeah.
Eze, you're gonna have Eze, Nico Williams, and what's it called? Freaking Cucurella as a bench boost. I think your bench is gonna cook, bro.
Oh, that's fire, bro.
It's
Yeah.
gonna
Even for
cook, yeah.
-4, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, yeah. As long as it's for free.
Gordon's
So,
going to be on my. It's going to be Gordon, Raya, Nico Williams, Cucurella.
yeah, it's not bad. That's really strong. All right. Moving to the next for myself, I've got 45 points. I should have put Nico Williams first bench, but I had Kanate, unfortunately. A big red arrow, to be honest. I've heard back-to-back red arrow. I was 300 in the world, and now I'm
Hey man, who
658.
put some juju on your wildcard team, bro? What the
Bro,
hell, man?
there's this bum called I can't find my cap. That's what it's called. He's got a thinking cap, and he lost his thinking, lost his brain, you know. So that bum has put a juju on my team, and since then I'm getting red arrows. Just to let you guys know, if you do see him on site, just let me know. Send me his locations, because whenever I see him, it's on site. And he's also getting some bad juju on his side as well, because the minute he wildcarded, he's also popping up with some injuries or some next level shit. Apparently, Cunha is not active now, so good luck with that. I missed my cap. Yeah, 45 points, not ideal. Back-to-back Ronaldo, not ideal. 2 injuries. Same with, Gabriel was injured. I bought Konate for Gabriel. Yeah, it's not looking good for me, boys. So moving on to game week 32, I did make one transfer, which was obviously, as I said, I bought in Konate. My bench is currently with Verbruggen, Konate, Nico Williams, and Clivert. Clivert is most likely going to be going out of my team. The replacements, I do not know, boys. I still do not know. I'm going back and forth between Morgan Gibbs-White, Minte, Savio. I'm also thinking to take a -4 to take out Gordon for Murphy. If I do that, I'll have enough money to go to Bimo, Bruno. I have all the options available, but I do not like any of the options. And that's not even to say that because I just think that the entry point is not good for either Buma or Bruno. Not only that, I also think they have nothing to play for. And same with my strategy, it doesn't suit for me to go to Villa assets, no City assets, because I'm trying to navigate 34. So I'm such in a rock and a hard place. I do not know what to do, honestly. It's probably one of those very unique times where the content creator himself, the one that's supposed to give you advice, he's unsure himself. It's a unique scenario. I'm not very often I'm in this scenario. So yeah, guys, I am really sorry if you're looking for an answer for the best Cliver replacement. I do not have it at the moment. Maybe if you tune into my deadline stream, you will know what I go for. But at the moment, I have not decided what to do. I'm just praying maybe Gordon is fine and I just have to deal with Cliver only. if I have to deal with both of them, that's really sad, honestly. Very, very sad. But
I'm
Yeah.
wish
looking
me
on
luck.
FootMob right now.
Mhm.
I'm looking on FootMob right now, and the predicted lineup is the same back four they've been playing with. Gonzalez and Gundogan in the pivot. Savinho, Grealish, Doku, Marmoush front four.
Damn. All right, let's see what happens.
Yeah, Foden injured, boys. Yeah, Joan David is injured, bro.
Damn, bro. I mean, Kayman, your team looks really strong for 32. It's
Bro, it
just
doesn't
Warden.
look strong. Stop saying that, bro. It doesn't look strong. I've got 2 key assets that
It's
are
just
injured, bro. It doesn't look
it's just
strong.
Gordon, bro.
No, it's
Son,
Clivert as
it's
well. I'm on
Gordon.
bench boost. I have 2 key assets that are injured, and I
Uh,
have 1 free transfer, bro. I'm not fine. People keep saying you're fine. I'm not fine. I'm okay. I'm gonna cry. Stop. I'm not fine. Come on, bro.
uh,
That's not
bro,
fine.
Foden to Murphy and Cliver to Bumo, bench boost that and move on.
Diaz or Jota. See, Diaz or Jota is interesting, bro. It's freaking interesting, bro. But it's like so like the picks I'm gonna pick right now, Kanji, is so unlike me. Like I'm going outside my comfort zone
Yeah.
and I don't like it. Like I'm
But
going
yo,
against my own
Kayman, if you
philosophy
want
and
to
my
win,
theory, bro.
if you want to win FPL, you got to take some risks, bro. I can't lie. So
I
one of
don't
those
like bro.
picks could be like 20 points in the next 3 weeks. I know it. I can see it. I just
Go
don't know
and
who
tell
it
me.
is.
You tell me, bro, because this is why I need help. You tell me, bro. What you think is the best Clive
Kayman,
Gordon
it's
replacement?
impossible to guess. Like who is supposed to guess
Bro,
the
this is what I'm
rotation at
saying,
Liverpool?
bro.
Doesn't make
This is what
sense.
I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't have to be Liverpool.
It's
What's
too
the
much of
best
a mess,
replacement, bro? What's the best Clive
bro.
replacement?
You know that
Gordon.
you know I can make these 2 moves. You know I can make these 2 moves, right?
What is it?
I can go Foden to Eze,
Yeah.
JP to Watkins.
I think that's a strong move.
What?
That's a strong move. I think I would do
So
that.
I get double game week this game week, and I also get Watkins on bench boost for Southampton.
You're kidding. You're not actually gonna sell JP.
He's a bum, bro. He's actually a bum. Of course, JP is a sell, bro. What are you saying, bro?
I'm not saying no.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that that's a possibility. Like I could do it because I
I
think
like it.
this is my thinking on Watkins, right? If he plays Southampton, even if he plays PSG, I think they lose. So all they have to play for is the top 4.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think he'll
That's what
get
I'm saying. Like a
rotated.
Villa punt makes sense, like long term.
I think he'll get rotated. I think he'll get rotated for the FA Cup game. In the second game, I don't know, man. I actually don't. They've got Man City, bro. They're gonna have to play Watkins. It's like that's a massive game.
Oh,
What do you think of
start.
Rogers?
Relax.
What do you think of
Relax.
Rogers? What do you guys
Relax.
think of Rogers? Like Rogers has got minutes, right? For Clivert.
He's not gonna
He
play this
might.
game week though. That's the joke.
Fuck
Like
off,
he's not gonna
man.
play this game
Fuck,
week.
bro.
Bro,
Yo, they play
50%
tomorrow.
chance he starts.
Bro, they play tomorrow though. We can get early leaks, no? Like 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. kickoff.
Maybe. We're not part of the FPL cartel though. That's the thing. So I don't know if we'll find
Oh
out.
my god, bro. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna see what Harry is doing with freaking Foden, bro. I'm just gonna like I'm just gonna copy, bro. I don't know, bro. I genuinely don't know, bro.
I genuinely think the template play will be Morgan Gibbs White. The boring guys will be Gibbs White merchants.
Yeah, that's me then. That's
the
me.
safe. That's the safe play. But Kayman, the thing with you is the edge to Morgan Gibbs White is he could double in 36. So like
But I'm
people
gonna have
bring
him
him
for it.
in
I'm
because
gonna
he
have him
could
for it.
double.
Do you get it? I'm gonna have him for that, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. So like you're in a unique situation where like you're in the assets you're picking from, like the pool of assets you're picking from, which aligns with your strategy, is smaller than other managers.
What about Madueke? Talk to me, Chelsea fan. Talk to me. Talk to me, bro. Madueke. Oh my god, it's like nah, bro. Damn, bro. Like,
I
bro,
don't know, bro. I
the,
don't
the
know, bro.
names that are coming out of my mouth will never come out, bro. This is the name I'm mentioning today. Never ever
That's
I'll
what I'm
say it.
saying, bro. Yo, Kayman, that's what I'm saying, bro. It doesn't make sense. Like
So
people
what
will
do
end
I
up going
do?
to bad players just because they have 2 games. Like it's crazy, man.
So should I just bench boost with Clivert
Think
and get
about
0
this.
points? Just bench boost with him. That's it, like this.
Think about this, right? Think about
There
this.
will be some managers that do that. I'm pretty sure there will be.
Now
All right,
Flapjack is doing that. Flapjack is doing that.
I saw that. I saw that.
let's
Go
talk
on.
about this, right? Villa's double is Newcastle and Man City, right? They are 1 point behind Man City, and they are 2 points behind Newcastle. That is probably the biggest double game week of their season in terms of the top four, because PSG are going to beat them. They ain't winning PSG. No chance. They are gone. They're out. PSG are too good.
But then they have
Yeah.
so many options to rotate, right? Who's gonna get minutes? Who's gonna get what? You know what I mean? Like people are
Hey,
saying
who will play
Asensio.
that double game week? It's Rodgers. Rodgers will probably play both games in that double.
Yeah.
But he'll get rested versus Southampton. It just makes sense to rest him versus Southampton. Do you know what I mean?
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely. Just forget about it, bro. Forget about it.
Just bench
Unless
versus
you
Clive.
Villa are
enter
just a
Rodgers
no-go.
next week.
Villa are just a no-go, but could Watkins be the Prem guy? Is he just going to play all the Prem games? I don't know, bro. Honestly, I don't know, man.
It's just guessing,
I
man.
love
Listen,
Watkins, man.
bro, it's just guessing
It's
game,
not.
bro. Yeah, boys. If you
Yeah.
guys know what the best Clive replacement is, DM me. It's one of those sort of times where, yeah, the guy that's supposed to give advice doesn't know what to do, man. Just let me know. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't like any options, man.
Yeah. By the way,
But
like in terms of who's on penalties for Aston Villa, like Rashford was the last player to take a penalty, and even though Asensio was on the pitch, so he should be first choice, and then Asensio would be next behind him.
Watkins is on pens.
No, because like he missed
What
the
do you mean,
last
no?
pen, and he missed the last one, I think, and then he lost
No,
the
he
pens
missed.
after that.
No. I thought he missed a penalty in a penalty shootout. Was it not a penalty shootout? He missed a penalty.
No, he missed the pen. He shot it like over the bar. He slipped, and then he messed up the pen. He lost the pens after that.
What game was that?
I'll double check. I'll DM it to you. It was a few weeks ago. That's when we were all looking to see, oh, is it Asensio? Is it Rashford? And then Asensio took a pen after that, and then Rashford took the pen after that. So, yeah. I'll send you more information on that, bro. Don't worry. But don't sell JP, man. He has Leicester, bro. You wildcarded him in for this exact fixture, bro. Come on, everyone is predicting him to start.
Well, I'm not selling him, Kanji. I was just suggesting a possible move that I could do if I wanted to have
Yeah.
a Villa asset who
Alright.
plays Watkins is going to play Southampton, which is crazy in itself. And then he's probably going to play the double. So, it's just one of them ones.
you know
Yeah,
what's
not
crazy?
sure.
Like I'm so surprised that like I'm seeing a lot of people go to Villa mids like Malen, Rashford, Rodgers. How are people sleeping at night thinking that these players are actually nailed to start, bro? I don't know, bro. Like not just 1 week, 2-3 weeks, bro. How, bro? I would not be able to sleep knowing that I have this type of rotation with players, bro. Like I'm losing sleep over Kluivert being available or not because he's being assessed. Imagine owning one of those rotation with players, bro. Savio, Foden. Like I would lose sleep, bro. Honestly.
Yep, I agree.
Kluivert, can you just lose some weight and just be fit for once in your life, bro? Play football, bro. Football, man. Bro, come on, man. I need this guy fit,
I'm
bro.
going for Marino. I'm locking it in. I'm going for Marino.
Stark, be serious, man. Talk
No
to me.
way.
Man. Stop it. Stark, be serious. Are you serious? Be serious, bro. Come on, bro.
I'm going for Joel Linton. Fuck it. FPL professor, I'm going for Tell.
Bro, Professor and his tail agenda is ridiculous, man. Honestly, it's just too much agenda, bro. Honestly.
What about Semenyo?
Oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself, bro. Don't even mention that guy, bro.
I don't think you moved to him. Bro.
Yo, thinking cap. What are you thinking, bro? What's the best Claver replacement, bro? Before you basically end the stream, guys, chat. Put on the chat who you guys think the best replacement. This is what I'll give you guys. For me, it's Minte one, right? Because the good entry point for me, and then it's Gibbs White, and then Liverpool. Who do you guys like? Mention in the chat, please. Do you like Minte or Gibbs White? Let's see.
I've made my move.
No
Minte
way.
or Morgan Gibbs White, guys, or a Liverpool mid. Go on. Let's hear on the chat.
I've actually made my move. I can't lie.
Live on stream. Bold is the move, bro.
Stark, come on, bro. Tell us. What would you do?
I made my move.
Follow him to Eze. I don't know if we can see it.
Why is it so fucked up?
Bro, Juan is running his Asensio agenda, bro, every single day, bro. Juan, come on, bro. This Asensio agenda is getting too much right now, bro.
I just brought in Eze, man.
Yeah, of course,
nice.
No-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Nice, bro. Easy
we
move.
Got
easy
Diaz.
move, bro.
We got two people saying Diaz. We got Juan saying Asensio. So we got one for Asensio, which was never in my. Asensio's not an option for me, guys. So you got Diaz, 2 Diaz, 1 Gibbs White, 1 Jota, 2 Gibbs White so far. Okay. Is that not good? Yeah. Okay, cool. So so far we've got Diaz, a lot of Diaz. We got 3, I guess, 3 people on Liverpool mids. I like that. I like Liverpool mids, bro. Okay, B, clearly you're a Chelsea fan. You're recommending Madueke here. Adil said triple captain Isak. Yes, if you want to, yes. Yeah, Liverpool mid is the play. Just gotta pick the right one. Probably Diaz. I might go for Murphy and Diaz. That might be it. I might lock it in. Let's see though. Bro, look,
I mean, yeah,
Spurs and
Odegaard is
Leicester,
sitting
bro.
there potentially.
No, but Spurs and
Odegaard is
Leicester,
sitting
bro.
there.
Bro, Spurs and Leicester's better than any double, bro. I'm sorry. Like, let's be honest right now, bro.
Yeah, that's facts. If he starts both games, you're chilling. You're literally chilling, bro.
No,
You're
facts.
gonna
Juan, you're
feast if
right. I can't
anything.
overthink. I gotta take a risk, and that risk is going for a double Liverpool mid, bro. Like, just it is what it is, man. Let's go for it, bro. Liverpool sucks 35-37. No, they don't. They play Chelsea. Chelsea are absolute dog shit, bro. They're smoking them. Enjoy when Nani gets the last 2 game weeks. What's he saying?
I think he's talking about Wanyeri, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay, Waneri. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
boys. Anything else in the chat, boys? Or should we end the
Boys.
stream?
No, I think we're good. I think a lot of people have dropped their PFC in the chat, so I'll look back and like re-look at it, and we'll put it into a chart, and we'll have it ready for next week.
All right, boys.
But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to catch on Stark this time in a round, you know.
Help start
The
Rhea
goat,
or
bro.
Sar. I'll start Sar. What was it? Wolves defender, is it?
I'm the
Okay,
Among
Yeah,
Us
Julie
goat,
Sa.
and I'm the
I'll probably say Rhea.
PFC goat.
I start, bro. This year I wasn't taking it seriously, innit? So hold that, bro. Next year I'll be there, bro. All right, boys. Peace out. Make sure to tune in to the deadline stream, boys. Smash the like button. Share this video. We'll be live again next week. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. You man are the goats. Thank you so much, boys, for tuning in. Peace out.